second video. So this is again all weed whacked. Just weed whacked down through here. Don't weed whack the ferns, obviously. The ferns don't get weed whacked. But these tall weeds, you could weed whack these down behind the ferns. You weed whack that down. And then over here, they want to keep this area really nice. So over here, we're gonna remove these actually. We're gonna remove all these, this guy right here. So that all gets removed. There's like a group of it in here. That's gonna get removed. And then there's some weeds growing through the Pachysandra. We're gonna pull all these weeds. So there's weeds in here, weeds, weeds, weeds. This is all weeds that gets pulled. Trim back pull the vines out of the barberry. Trim back the barberry. Here and here, barberry gets trimmed back. You might have to tie up the grass a little bit. Pull out the weeds, pull out the weeds. There's a vine growing up the Japanese maple. And then I would say I would cut this back a little bit because it's kind of growing kind of crazy. So I cut back this plant a little bit. But this side of the steps, we're going to maintain. This side over here, the only thing we want to do is pull the weeds off the one yellow common cypress. So clean all the weeds off that because she might want to save that. Because maybe next year, the following year, she's going to turn this whole area into lawn and she might just save the one tree. So what I would say is clean the weeds, clean the vines and the weeds off the tree. Clean the vines and the weeds off this group of plants over here. So I think she might save that as well. So clean it off there. But everything else in here, all these weeds, just weed whack it down. Now don't weed whack down the ornamental grasses. There's like, what, 7 ornamental grasses, right? Don't weed whack those down. Just weed whack the tall grassy weeds in between them. All right? Don't worry about spending time pulling the vines off everything else in here. Only that yellow tree and only these plants down here. And then just spend some time weed whacking through here. But it's not gonna look perfect, but it's just to make it look a little bit better. Okay? So again, this whole area, just kind of leave it as is, except for use the weed whacker and knock down some of the tall weeds. Not gonna be perfect. Trim back the vines. See the vines growing in the stone wall. Just trim them back so it looks more well kept. Okay, and then pull the weeds and trim some of the plants up there as well. Same thing, trim the barberry. And then pull all the weeds in here as well. All these weeds in here, these all get pulled. And you're gonna stop at this tree with the weed pulling. So at the right side of this tree, this gets weed pulled. This, you could probably just use the weed whacker a little bit to kind of knock it down. So kind of in here, just weed whack a little bit. Maybe you have to pull the weeds out of the Pachysandra so you don't mess up the Pachysandra. And trim those barberry. Trim the Andromeda. Pull the weeds. This is the second, maybe, I don't know if she needs to do this year. Maybe next year she decides to pull some of the weeds in here, but I wouldn't go, that's a big project. I wouldn't touch that for now. I would pull some of the weeds just in this little area here. So there's a couple weeds in here, I would pull these. And definitely, like I said, the weeds that near the mailbox that are kind of growing in the ferns, those weeds have to be pulled. And that's about it.